Hello and welcome to me going through some of my records. Now I thought, as the title suggests, that I'd go through some of the one-hit wonders. Now the caveat to that was that they needed to be in their picture sleeve. What was the point of bringing out a one-hit wonder thing without its picture sleeve? Then again, there's probably a couple that would warrant the how on earth did you keep that in your collection? So I suppose there is that aspect. Anyway, so I thought some of them are a little bit, mind you, I don't know why I don't know why I thought I would start with this one, but I would start with this one. Pass the touchy. Now, I can't help but think there's a certain irony to the cover to this being green. It ain't easy being green. Clearly in this case it was. And the other side to this, they kind of look like they already had. There we go. Nice lot of green there. Now the next one, I thought, well, I'll include novelty things. So the next one I thought, if anybody remembers the young ones, there was this. Yes, Newell's version of Hole in My Shoe. And the hole in my shoe which was letting in water. And I will put the other side on this so that you can pause it and have a bit of a read. I'm sure that's fascinating. I couldn't be bothered myself, but there we go. I'd like to say thanks a lot. Oh no, that's my drag queen voice. Oh wow, I'd like to say, hang on, I've got to get it right. Wow, I'd like to say thanks a lot. Yeah, that's enough. He said his thanks, all the rest is superfluous. And next up, I don't quite know why I bought this one, but I did. It's here and it's ready to be presented. Paul Nicholas. Yes, it seemed to be a thing back there in the late 70s, sort of posing, bare-chested, all kind of, well, a bit the opposite to what the Bee Gees were doing, I guess. That's the total opposite to what the Bee Gees were doing. Had the teeth though. So that was the obvious thing there. So like he was doing it. He was doing it with an ill-fitting bowler hat. As you do. And the next one is it was kind of a one hit. St. Elmo's Fire by John Parr. I wonder what the motion part was the... Oh dear. Seems like the motion part was the B-side. Treat Me Like an Animal. Oh, I wonder what kind of animal. Hopefully not a crab. But that's just so 80s, that album cover on the other side there. With the rolled up short sleeves. Probably borrowed that off Bruce Springsteen. And that kind of weird mullet thing. Though they do look more like they're waiting for Godot than anything else. Maybe they're waiting for the wrong kind of train. Yeah, the wedding was elsewhere. And next up we have... Baby, it's yeah! And I bet you were a bit worried that I was going to do a bit of Yoko Ono then too, weren't you? No, I would never do that. And the story goes, it's a bit of an urban myth that she was killed in a car crash after filming the video. That wasn't true. But nice of them to find somebody who looked like Eric from 10cc. That's pretty fab. She looks a bit annoyed though. Maybe she was annoyed with the rumours. What's a girl to do? I don't know. Not put up with silly conspiracy theories, I suppose. And next up we have this. Was very much of its time. Space Invaders! Let's hear it for Space Invaders, eh? I suppose having a song called Galaxian would probably not quite work as well. Frogger would be interesting. The monsters there kind of look like the monster that threw fireballs at Birdman. Check it out, it's on YouTube. But wait, there's more typical 80s trashy stuff with Pat and Mick. I haven't stopped dancing yet, but I mean, with an initial like that, P&M, it sounds more like something that requires antibiotics. Especially with the haven't stopped dancing. Why haven't you stopped dancing? You need to control the itching, do you? But it's a typical Stockache and Waterman thing. But to turn this around, so I've given you sort of like the A side of the cover. Turning that around, you've got one killer mullet happening there. I thought mine was bad back in the day, but that's something that looks like it used to be in a ponytail, actually. But, yep, the sort of the frosted blonde mullet, which was such a big thing back then. And I think now a couple of these probably were sort of one-hit wonders, and there might have been a follow-up single that maybe did a little bit. But of course, I couldn't pass up the one-hit wonder thing or the whatever by this. I'm too sexy for Milan, too sexy for Milan, something else I'm too sexy for. And if you wanted to, the instrumental is on the B side, so it's kind of, once again, in the late 80s, you had that as kind of a precursor to karaoke, so you could shove that on your turntable and be too sexy in an instrumental sense. There you go. You could make up your own lyrics and everything as to what you were too sexy for. Ending off this bunch of one-hit wonder things, we've got the Starland vocal band with Afternoon Delight. Now, apparently I thought that was a song about nose candy, but apparently literally is about fireworks. And it's not incorrect, the cover here, where it's kind of Starland. What is that? That just looks a little bit random. Well, in actual fact, that was the B-side. That was the name of the B-side. So you had Starland by the Starland Vocal Band. Or the Starland Vocal Band with Starland. Oh my god. And of course I have no idea what that lion thing, whatever it's supposed to be. I don't know if it's to look like a lion as a firework or a firework that's one of those trick of the eye things. But I think I don't know if I'd prefer a lion work or a lion fire or a fire lion or when any of those sounds a bit iffy. Alright, well hopefully you enjoyed that. And if you did, please do the likes and subscribes and the bells and the whistles and all of that kind of jazz. And I haven't really done anything jazzy, have I? I should try and find some jazz. There's a Queen album by that name. Yeah, there's an idea. Yeah, definitely on one album. Alright, well please take care of yourself and hopefully I shall see you in the next one. Ciao!